Here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to the Friday Contributor Comms / Upstream Marketing meeting. Thanks for joining and be nice to each other. This is the TLDR. We've got happy Friday. It seems like we've got some good internet connections happening, which is huge. I love the pre-recording banter. But any introductions or anything new that people want to bring up to start? Get on the agenda? All good. Okay, cool. We always start with what are some big things that have happened in our world here or in the land of Kubernetes that we want to celebrate. First things first, drum roll. Rajula, do you want to talk about the issue PR?
Yeah, so we have the new feature live. So thanks to Karthikeyan. So now we can create pull requests from an issue. So if someone wants to tweet something, they can just create a GitHub issue.
That is the freaking coolest.
That's awesome.
That is absolutely wonderful. And I heard Rain was able to use it to give this a try. And so I see there's a kind / tweet that was added to the GitHub.
It was added especially for our repo.
Perfect. Thank you, team, for doing that. But yeah, if anyone wants to cruise around and see examples, it looks like Karthikeyan and Rajula were using this and freaking works.
That's freaking awesome.
And the subtext of this being like one of our all-time goals for this group is to be a place where people feel like they can contribute to Kubernetes, bringing their creative skills without needing any sort of coding experience, and getting people away from the PR and into just GitHub issues is one step closer. I'm really proud of us for doing that. That's huge. May seem small, but it is definitely big. Speaking of small things that are huge, the latest release got cut. Yay, team.
Yay.
I don't know if any of the people on the release team watched this other than you, Rajula, but that's really impressive. Anything you want to say about that, being on the release team?
Yeah, so we have a couple of deprecation blocks coming up. So I can link them here. They're still in review though.
Okay, great.
It's code freeze. The release has not been cut yet.
Sorry. Oh yeah, no, I said that backward. I meant to say code freeze.
No, the
release is frozen. That's the excitement.
What I heard was code freeze.
Yeah. Thank you all for substituting Friday brain for actual reality. Yes, code freeze, no releases yet. But that's huge. It seems like so far at least I've seen rumblings where it seems like people got the message ahead of time. I don't have enough data, so it's incredibly anecdotal, but what are all of your anecdotes? Like, did people kind of feel like it snuck up on them, or did you get any impression that communication was working well enough where they felt informed? Any senses there?
I generally know when it is, but I saw comms about it, so it was refreshing to see that reminder get floated out there.
Cool. Well, and maybe we can follow up on that. Like, if not a survey, then just find some appropriate forum to ask, like, hey all, how did freeze feel? Any feedback? Did you get enough information in the channels you were looking? Something to think about. Cool. All right. Well, anything that we've got in progress that we want to jump right into? I don't think there's anything that immediately comes to mind with the folks on the line this week. But this is generally a place where if you've got an article in progress and want to talk through it, this would be the time. If you have ideas for future articles and you'd like to get them in the backlog, that is also wonderful. And we track that on the link here. Actually, did I add it to the? I didn't, just in case people aren't looking. I think everyone's in. Any articles in progress? Good
Did an
deal.
article ever get published?
Oh Lord, I have no idea.
Me either.
Your contributor story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not published. I think it was waiting for a date change and like another item on it to actually be merged.
Let me go
I'll
find
do
it.
I'll do a quick screen share.
Oh.
Here's the poll. What's the last date?
I know I've been bad in keeping up with it. So.
Oh.
Any
So
changes
I
are-
think 215 was the one that was giving the TLDR the contributor stories.
Mhm.
And then I think we had the date update and all that had happened in previous one. Now it just needs to be incremented again, and then it can go out.
Is this? Oh, this is my PR. Oh, I might have been waiting for Chris. Shoot.
Oh. Whoops.
So if I do a quick edit on the date,
You will not be able to do it. It'll have to be through, because you can see the date there.
yeah.
It's not just there. It's
Also-
okay, never mind. 2021 will be okay there. So the file name doesn't have to be changed. That just has to be changed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did the file name. And I think if I suggest and accept it, I can do it right from the browser real quick.
You should be able to.
Yep.
I haven't live demoed in a while. Let's do this. Okay. Did it, done it, updated.
I
Once
see that you updated it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Once the preview is done, then we can actually act on it with like proven LGTM.
You broke up there for a second, Mr. Low Latency.
Rude.
I can actually probably tell you why. Like when I dock my MacBook, it usually tends to stick to the Wi-Fi and doesn't use the Ethernet automatically.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely what it sounds like.
Okay, so what were you saying,
Um,
Bob?
we have to wait for Netlify to finish building the preview, and we basically verify that the preview, everything looks good. And once that's done, can toss like approve on it, and it'll go out the door.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
Kazan.
Hey.
Good. Okay. Chris, will you keep monitoring that while we're hanging out? Maybe we can get this over the line today.
It'll take like 5-10 minutes for the build to finish.
And you just want me to hit approve, Bob, right?
You can toss your LGTM on it, and then I, as the repo owner, can approve.
Cool. Got it. I'll ping you after it's done and everything.
Good. It's always good to
Quality check to the one on your.
remind ourselves of that specific flow.
Yeah.
It's a flow for sure. Good call. Good. Got that. We've got the PR thing. Okay. Improvements, updates to work in progress. But I see, Rajul, you added a section on needs some.
Yeah, there are a couple of things that we observed this week. So the first one was, so even when a user creates a GitHub issue, in order to make it into a pull request, they need to sign the CLA first. So it's a good thing for us. And the other one is that, so I found this and then I pinged Bob. So GitHub has this thing where when a new contributor creates a pull request or something, so the workflow doesn't run by default. So an admin, not the owners, but then a GitHub admin has to come in and approve manually. So it might be a thing to figure out in the beginning, but I think we should, once the contributor is a regular contributor, we won't have this issue.
Okay.
Is that a burden or is that good?
We need to ping someone admin like Bob or someone, so none of us can do that.
There
I see.
are we can add more people to repo admins as well. It's just a PR to a file in KOrg.
Okay.
The TLDR is people found ways of abusing GitHub's CI to try and mine coins. So they put this check in place. So if you're opening a PR for the first, this is actually like very similar to how our workflow goes.
Right.
If you're opening a PR for the first time, or if you're like not an org member, it will not run checks automatically. It waits for someone to approve it. So it's sort of like just like what we do with, like okay to test.
Wow.
That makes
I
sense.
think miners would trigger that action. You would think something just like, hey, we're noticing a lot of overhead.
People were basically, since it used to run on all PRs, people were spam opening thousands upon thousands of PRs to take care. Like it's essentially like Azure behind the scenes.
Right.
So spinning up virtual machines in Azure to mine coins.
Let me tell you, streaming from this Azure rig is really nice because it's got a great NVIDIA graphics card. Okay.
Dang.
Today I learned. That's crazy.
Well, that is certainly interesting. Cool. So, Rajula, is there something we can add to the README is there any sort of documentation that would be helpful in this case? Are you thinking?
We do have something, but we need to add the CLA part. So I'm going to make a pull request for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good. Okay. I see some new items added in new items. So going back up the stack a little, what you got going on?
So that was me adding items a little late. Two things. We were hoping to, like, after talking, like I had a couple of conversations, and there's a couple SIGs / people that would probably be like worth profiling. That's SIG Node and Don Chen. There's also a couple other people in there, like if we wanted to like get a couple different perspectives. Besides Don, Derek is the other SIG chair. And Alana has been very active there. Same thing with Sergey. So I don't know if it like maybe try something a little. You have like the two people that have been there since the beginning, and then the two people that are sort of the new up and comers. So that might be an angle to take. And another one is like becoming really popular and might just be a way to steer more, like I should say popular in terms of like the cloud native space, and steer more people towards the SIG is SIG multi-cluster.
Yes.
Oops.
Good point.
Do you know if they have any particular needs for membership, or is it just the general, we could always use more membership?
Outside of membership, like a lot of people don't know that the actual SIG exists.
Yeah. It's been an issue.
For a while, like there was this period where there really wasn't like any activity going on in it for a bit. But now the idea of multi-cluster, like the SIG has been around for quite a while. And like I even like my first real foray into Kubernetes was multi-cluster back in like 2016, 2017. But now it's really becoming a thing again. And I think, try and ride some of the popularity of it becoming a thing and get more people there.
Is Paul still the chair?
No, Paul Moore stepped down.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Still list him as the chair. I list him at Red Hat. That's why I asked, because I know he's not here anymore.
Yeah, he's I think over at Apple now.
Yep. But we could always stick our nose in there.
Oh wait, no, Paul is the chair still. Never mind, but his thing has not been updated.
Got it. All right. I can reach out to Paul if y'all want.
That'd be cool if you want to kick it off, and maybe we can kind of round robin it until a draft comes together. I think with multi-cluster, I can see like a pretty simple format of that of, acknowledgement. We're interviewing multi-cluster, and like in the introduction, like a brief, like why is it a big deal in our own words, in a vendor neutral way. I think we all work it different massive cloud companies to the most degree, except for Rajula. He does cool work. Not that we don't, but I'm just digging a freaking grave. But there is a general consensus that it's important to all of us, and it's the selfless part of it for all of us is that we want Kubernetes to be a way for people to grow in their career. And if you can start wrapping your head around multi-cluster, you are relevant to all cloud vendors immediately. So I feel like there's a good pitch at the beginning. Anyway, so like intro, what is multi-cluster? Multi-cluster in maybe their own words, like of a few of the members, and then call to action of where to get involved. I think it follows the standard template.
And also, like, if you wanted to dive into like some of the history of the SIG itself, because it's been around
Right.
for a while, but like
Yeah, but like it went from federation to now it's like
Yeah.
much more.
the other thing is just it was way back in the day. It was kind of like, you know, people were thinking about multi-cluster way back then, but so many of the end users were just trying to grasp Kubernetes. It was just like it was
Right.
too soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
the industry in general has gone from like massive Kubernetes clusters and few of them to hundreds of small clusters, right? Like that's very much been
So-
the trend from 2017 to now.
There's definitely some like good history / stories there too.
Yeah, I kind of put it under the header of evolution, like kind of history for sure, but like
Yeah.
how I feel like Kubernetes has grown with the industry understanding of the problem. / I love that point of just people trying to get their heads around Kubernetes to start. Like this is different. It's like the conflation of, you know, contributing code to a project and understanding Git and Markdown. Like they're not the
Right.
same thing. You got to learn things one at a time.
Mhm.
Intro, evolution, you know, SIG quotes or hero words. Then wrap up. Cool.
This is also actually one this is jumping back to Node, but like one of the reasons why Node is so important is just like you must have Node to be able to run Kubernetes. Everyone's running kubelet. It's also one of the most complicated pieces of the code base, just because there's so much nuance with how it plays with underlying systems, and especially like now with Windows, you sort of have this forking of the Node code base, and it's incredibly difficult to get into, but it's really needed, and that's sort of like as far as a general call to action. Like I will say it'd be difficult for your part-time contributor to get started in it, but like the
experienced user, like the certified somebody or other, you know.
I want to say if you're getting if you're looking to contribute as part of your work as a programmer, like Node is a place to be influential and effective.
If you have like deep understanding of Linux, like that is one of the best places to dive into. And again, this is something like Don, Derek, Clayton when he used to be more involved with Node.
Nice.
And like Alana and Sergey too, as the two people that can talk about how it's been getting started in it. Also, this very multi-vendor keeping everything like
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, what do you mean by that, Ursula? A super nice rabbit hole. I love that phrase.
I mean, you keep digging, you keep finding new stuff in Node. So it's like you always learn
you quickly
something.
go from like Cube API into syscalls,
Yeah.
and then it gets Linux kernel-y very quick.
It's almost more like the nice thing with like the Cube API server is like it's a bit more predictable in how things will, and you have like more control over how things will respond. With the Node, it has so many integration points with underlying systems and different versions of operating systems and things like
Different
that.
hardware, different everything. Yeah,
That can,
it's a really cool rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I know a couple of friends who have started, like they just delete the node and create a new node when something goes wrong. It's like they don't even, like it's not an easy thing to actually go and debug.
Yeah.
This is what
No,
most people do.
like that's totally a thing that I
Yeah.
have done on my local cluster. It's like, no, you're being naughty. Off with your head. I'll just rebuild
But
you from
That's the way it's
scratch.
supposed to work.
I know.
Yeah, it's literally the pitch.
It's not pets, it's cattle.
Mm.
Sorry, I also didn't mean to like rant there a little bit, but like there's
it's a fun
definitely
rant.
No,
good-
it's a
good
fun
story
rant.
behind both those groups.
No, that's really cool. So yeah, I'll put them into the backlog. Chris accepted one of them, but next meeting, if there are people looking for author opportunities, I'll recommend them. It's a great idea. Okay, y'all. Well, we made it through the proper agenda. Any additions? Anything you got work in progress that you want to talk through with people?
This is the first meeting I've been able to make it to in a while, so I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. Okay, well, with that, I'm going to stop the recording. People are welcome to hang out and chat for a bit. But thanks all, and have a wonderful Friday.